Hey everyone! So MAC released their newest collection, Vamplify, on August 26th online and September 3rd in stores. The collection featured 17 limited edition new formula lip glosses and 12 new permanent Pro Longwear Lip Pencils. I only picked up some of the new Vamplify lip glosses, so let's just get into it. The new Vamplify lip glosses individually retail for $20 US, $24 in Canada. They contain 0.16 ounces of product, and unfortunately, they're only limited edition. But if we know anything about MAC, depending on how it sells, hopefully they will become a permanent product in the future. Fingers crossed. The packaging is a long, slim tube with a thin, angled doe foot applicator. The formula is soft, smooth, applies easily, it's highly pigmented, fully to mostly opaque, and wears about 3 to 5 hours average. They have a creamy consistency that's comfortable throughout wear and never feels sticky or tacky. It's only really once the product starts to wear away that there's any noticeable slight tackiness. They have a quite strong vanilla scent to them, much stronger than the regular lip products. It's really lovely and can be noticed on initial application but not tasted, and it does fade rather quickly-ish. A for Attitude is a medium to dark brightened fuchsia with cool undertones and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and had rich opaque pigmentation. Due to the creamy consistency of these glosses, the color did lightly fall into lip lines over time, but due to the brighter nature of this specific shade, it wasn't as noticeable as it would have normally been if it wasn't so neon. A for Attitude wore well for 5.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, MAC's Pink Pigeon was lighter and warmer. MAC's Candy Yum Yum was brighter and more cool toned. The Too Faced Melted Fuchsia was brighter and more fuchsia, and the Sephora collection Whipped Blush was brighter and matte. Anything But Demure is a light to medium muted rose brown with warm undertones, gold microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and had rich opaque pigmentation. It performed nicely both alone and paired over top of other products, wore comfortably, and left a very subtle gold sheen to the lips due to the microsparkle in it. Anything But Demure wore well for 5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, MAC's Kinda Sexy was lighter and more peach, and MAC's Velvet Teddy was lighter and less brown. How Chic Is This is a medium to dark purple magenta with warm undertones, violet microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and semi-opaque. This color ended up being a lot more sheer than most of the other shades, but it wore comfortably and it only ever so slightly bled and feathered towards the end of wear when worn alone. How Chic Is This wore well for 4.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, Bite Beauty's Violet was lighter, cooler, and more fuchsia, and MAC's Heroine was cooler and more purple. Hyper Fabulous is a medium to dark muted plum brown with warm undertones, violet microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and had opaque pigmentation. It was comfortable to wear and had excellent performance both when worn alone and paired over other products. Hyper Fabulous lasted 5.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, MAC's Tuned In was lighter and more pink, MAC's Kinda Sexy was lighter and more nude, and Kat Von D's Lolita was muted, more rose, and matte. Little Miss Mischief is a light to medium brightened pink with hints of yellow, warm undertones, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and had nice opaque pigmentation. It did have a slight milky consistency to it. It only barely settled into lip lines though, and it was only really noticeable on a close inspection. Little Miss Mischief lasted 4.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. Modern Drama is a medium to dark berry red with cool undertones and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, mostly even, and semi-opaque. It did end up appearing darker in the lip lines due to its sheer color payoff, but it did perform really nicely over top of other products. This particular gloss also had a thinner consistency than the rest, and I did experience light feathering and bleeding when worn alone. Modern Drama wore well for 5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, MAC's Sin was darker, warmer, and more burgundy. She Rebel is a medium to dark purple with cool undertones, blue microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, mostly even, and semi-opaque. While this shade doesn't have the greatest performance when worn alone, as your natural lip pigmentation will alter the color of it since it is more sheer, it does pair and wear nicely over top of other products. She Rebel lasted 4 hours and was lightly hydrating when worn. Spanking Haute is a light to medium peach with hints of pink, warm undertones, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, semi-even, and mostly opaque. While it does have great pigmentation, I noticed that the color did almost immediately settle into lip lines. This was probably due to the more milky consistency of it. However, this didn't occur when paired over top of another product like a lipstick or a liner. Spanking Hot wore well for 4 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, Kat Von D's Noble was brighter, more pale, and matte, and MAC's Kind of Sexy was darker, muted, and more brown. Speed Up is a light to medium baby pink with cool undertones and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and mostly opaque. Like with most pale-natured lip glosses, the color did settle into lip lines due to the milkier consistency, mainly just when worn alone, but this specific color being paired over top of another product like a lipstick or a lip pencil helped prevent this. Speed Up wore well for 4 hours before fading and was lightly hydrating when worn. In comparison, MAC's Steady Going was darker, muted, and more yellow toned. MAC's Pink Plaid was darker, warmer, and muted. Kat Von D's Melancholia was a tad darker and matte. The Too Faced Melted Frosting was lighter and warmer, and the Too Faced Melted Marshmallow was lighter and more yellow toned. Suggestive is a medium to dark, brightened red with cool undertones and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and semi-opaque. Once again, because it is more sheer, your natural lip pigmentation will alter the color, making the color either darker or brighter. But regardless, it had excellent performance both worn alone and paired with other products. Suggestive wore well for 5.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, Clinique's Cherry Pop was brighter and more red, and the Too Faced Melted Velvet was warmer. Tuned In is a medium to dark muted rose plum with warm undertones, gold microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and had fully opaque, rich pigmentation. It was lightly hydrating, comfortable to wear, and left a nice gold sheen to the lips due to the microsparkle in it. Tuned In wore well for 5 hours before fading. In comparison, MAC's Hyper Fabulous was darker and more brown. MAC's Whirl was darker, muted, and more brown. And Kat Von D's Double Dare was darker, more rose, and matte. What's Going On is a medium to dark, vivid fuchsia pink with cool undertones, strong blue microsparkle, and a glossy cream finish. This shade applied smoothly, evenly, and mostly opaque. I found that your natural lip pigmentation or whatever product you have me pairing underneath it did alter the color, whether it make the color darker, brighter, or really intensify that blue sheen. I also experienced very light feathering and bleeding when I tested this product on its own. What's Going On wore well for 5.5 hours and was lightly hydrating. In comparison, Bite Beauty's Palomino was warmer and more red. The Too Faced Melted Jelly Donut was lighter and more pink, and the Too Faced Melted Candy was lighter and more coral. And that is all 12 shades that I picked up. Overall, the formula is absolutely incredible. They provide the pigmentation of a liquid lipstick, but in a hydrating, non-sticky gloss formula. My personal favorite way of wearing these glosses is to pair them over top of a liquid lipstick because they don't cause the product underneath to break down like most glosses do. They don't really move around, and the best part is that they do hydrate your lips. Even the most matte of formulas are comfortable to wear if you pair these glosses over top of them. So whether you're wearing them alone, pairing them over top of a lip pencil for a more opaque, long-lasting coverage, or layering them over top of lipsticks for an extra kick of shine and color, these are definitely worth checking out before they sell out, if they already haven't. They're honestly such a good formula. I cannot stop raving about them or wearing them. Please do yourself a favor and check them out. So be sure to let me know in the comments below which shades you happen to pick up, if this gloss formula has caught your eye, or just in general what your thoughts are on a gloss kind of taking place of a liquid lipstick, but in a more comfortable formula. As always, don't forget to check out my blog for more details, photos, and swatches, as well as like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. If you'd like to give me a follow, I will have all of my social media listed here, as well as down in the description. As I always say, I hope you found this review helpful, and I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for watching. So for products on the rest of our eyes, we'll be using these.
So liquid eyeliner first.